Good afternoon, everyone. It's Chris Volpe here, just doing a quick thought. I'm going to run around like a crazy person today, doing a bunch of stuff, but I've been thinking about a few things regarding this DC military deployment. So I want to jump on, but before I do that, remember you can follow me on all the social medias at Volpe for America. And if you would do me a favor, please go ahead and share this video and others like it to your friends. If you share at least one video to a friend, that helps us grow the channel and everything, and I'm greatly appreciative of it. So yeah, just real fast, quick thought on this DC thing. Obviously, there's a lot of people with a lot of takes on it. The fact that this is the second time now that Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard for a emergency that isn't actually an emergency, and sure, you can be aware, but we saw the details of why they're deploying it and all this crime and everything. And firstly, the kid, I guess the young man that was beat up, of course, is unacceptable, right? But that's not really what we're doing here. There's plenty of other people in various cities, including red cities, that have been harmed in some way that Donald Trump does not seem to care about. It's just a pretext to allow him to control DC, which is a little bit easier to do because it is not a state, of course. But I want to remind folks that as things like this happen, there's kind of two lines of thought. There's the distraction thought, and then there's sort of like the fascism thought. And I want to remind folks that two things can be equally true at the same time, right? Like this can be a distraction, of course, remember, to release the Epstein files. But this can also be a very dangerous precedent to be set. And so, when we sit here and we think about, okay, well, violent crime is the lowest in DC that it's been forever. So his claim about violent crime is BS. His claim about crime in general has always been BS because, I like to point this out for people who are willing to listen, but there's this sort of sense that like everything's going to hell in a handbasket, and the olden days were the better, safer days. But like it's just fundamentally not true. There are definitely things like school shootings, which never happened in the past, in the before good times, that are happening with a regularity that is both disheartening and disgusting. But violent crime overall, almost every meaningful level of crime has been going down. Sorry, my hair is just an absolute mess today. But has been going down. I mean, we are in some of the most historic lows of crime in this country that we have ever seen, which is awesome. Like that's something that we should be, not stopping at, because there's always better, but it's something that we should be acknowledging the hard work of law enforcement, our legal system, public health professionals that have been trying to make this country better and safer for people. But the thing I want to advise folks on, because I hear this particularly a lot of folks on the left, is you get caught up in the details. It's the lowest crime in DC and blah 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 and whatever. All that stuff can be true, right? But the question I would sort of ask yourself and to think about is like, is this the country that you want to live in? The kind of country that you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world where the president, on the drop of a hat, for literally almost any justification, can just deploy the National Guard against its citizens? Is that the kind of country that you want to live in? Do you want to live in a country where masked men can jump out of a van without identifying themselves and just grab people and throw them into cars and take them off, without any identification, any warrants? Is that the kind of country that you want to live in? Is that what America should be? Do you want to live in a country where you can just deport people without due process, some of which are American citizens, both through immigration and by birth, and then we allow them to just deport these people willy-nilly for no reason? So that is my sort of question for you as we discuss what's going on. And for me, no, I do not want to live in that kind of country. I do not want our world to be one filled with uncertainty and fear for our neighbors and ourselves. And so I for one, I've had enough of it. I'm not, this is not a distraction. I am not distracted. I am able keeping two thoughts in my head. One is which, where's the Epstein files? I want to see them and I want to know everybody that's in there. And the second of is I do not want a military police state in my country, particularly when there's no plan for any of this, right? The idea that you're just going to put the military in, who I will remind you are not law enforcement agencies. So you've got the National Guard, and of course you have the FBI, which is a law enforcement agency. But you know, this sort of broad law enforcement is not what they're. That's not what the FBI is designed to do. No, I just don't want to live in that world, and so I'm going to fight alongside my friends, family, and neighbors to build a better America, the kind of world that I want to live in, the kind of world that I want my 5-year-old niece to live in. And I'm not going to tolerate this nonsense. So when people are lying to your face and they're trying to scare you, I'm here. I got your back. Step up and we can make this a better country. So keep an eye on all the stuff that's going on, but don't be deterred from the reality of what is happening, both the good and the bad. So that was just a quick thought as I'm jotting around here doing a bunch of stuff today. I really appreciate you watching these videos. Of course, I appreciate you sharing them. Any opportunity you have to share them with friends and family and whatnot is greatly appreciated. It's a slow grind to get these social medias up and running, but it is important. And again, I just want to remind you that we can get to better days. There are better days ahead. It's going to require some hard work, and we're going to have to step up and make these things happen. But it is possible. I know we can get there. I appreciate all your support, and I will see you in the next video.